Hello everyone. In this session, I will let you know what are the factors that those the resistance of a conducting circuit depends upon the factors on which the resistance of a conducting circuit depends on what factors that we are learning from this session. Yeah, for example, I take yeah, here I am presenting you one wire. This is a aluminum. This is made of aluminum conducting material, and the other one I am showing you is it is made of copper. It is a copper wire. This is a single lead wire. This is termed as a single lead wire, and this is as a poly lead wire. Okay, there's so many copper wires are, you can see inside there are so many copper wires. The thickness of this copper wire is of the order of microns. Okay, I will let you know later. First of all, I am taking this wire. I suppose it is a half meter. You consider this as a 1/4 of meter. And if I double the length of this, actually, what the length I took, it's 1/4 of a meter. If I raise this length by 100%, that is half meter. For example, here I presented L is equal to 2L. In the first case, the length of the wire is L. If I double it, the length of the wire is 2L. Then what is the reading in the ammeter? We are seeing ammeter reading is a half, decreased to 1/2. So when the length is doubled, ammeter reading is a half. You understand? When the length of the wire is doubled, the ammeter reading is half of it. 1/2 of it, that is what. The ammeter reading is increased, but when this, here we are seeing the situation of a decrease. But I want to increase the ammeter reading, for which what I have to do, when a thick wire of the same material, and of the same length is used. Previously this is 1/4, and now also this is 1/4. In the second case, what we are saying is if the thickness is doubled, if the thickness is increased, then the deflection ammeter, you can see a rise in deflection of the ammeter. So the current flowing through the conducting wire depends upon the thickness also. Area of cross section, that is what thickness also, length, thickness, and the temperature must be constant. That is the thing we want to remember here in a current carrying conductors. The temperature should not be changed. It is a constant. That is the Ampere's law. Ohm's law is saying. That is the fundamental of Ohm's law. And the temperature is constant. So the ammeter reading is increased when a thicker wire of the same material and of the same length is used in the circuit. So as the thickness of the conducting wire goes on increasing, the ammeter's deflection goes on increasing. Understand? Well, if the thickness is getting reduced, the ammeter deflection is also getting reduced. So, but the length must be the same. Okay. And the third point I want to present you is a change in ammeter reading is observed when a wire of different material of the same length and the same area of cross section is used. Yeah, for example, we are considering this wire, aluminum conducting wire, single lead wire, that is of thick wire, single lead wire. And if I replace this aluminum conducting wire with a copper conducting wire of the same length, then change in the deflection of the ammeter being observed. Okay. And what Ohm's law is saying is the resistance of the conductor. The resistance of the conductor depends upon its length, area of cross section, and the nature of the material it is made of. Three factors importantly influencing the resistance of the conductor here. You see, its length, area of cross section, and the nature of the material. Resistance of a uniform metallic conductor. Resistance of a uniform metallic conductor. Uniform means it is of the same area of cross section throughout its length, same area of cross section. There should not be any change in it. Okay, resistance of a uniform metallic conductor is directly proportional to its length and inversely proportional to its cross section. Resistance is directly proportional to its length and inversely proportional to its area of cross section. If we represent it as a equation, R is proportional to its length and R is inversely proportional to its area of cross section. R is directly proportional to its length and it's inversely proportional to its area of cross section. If we combine these two, it's the third equation forms R is directly proportional to L by A. If we remove the proportionality with some constant, a proportionality constant, R is equal to rho L by A. R is equal to rho RH by rho. Rho L by A. Rho is a Greek term used for this purpose. Rho L by A. Rho is called the electrical resistivity of the material of the conductor. What is rho? Rho is called the electrical resistivity of the conducting material. Then rho must also have some units, no? The units of rho is ohm meters. Meters means we are considering the length. The length plays a key role here. That is why meters we are presenting in this units. Ohm meters. For certain length, how much resistance? For certain length, how much resistance it is exhibiting. That is what the unit of the electrical resistivity is ohm meter. It is the characteristic property of the material. It depends purely on the type of material is used. Of course, in your textbook you can see there is one particular table after this session, after this page, in which the electrical resistivity for different kinds of materials is presented as a table. Understand? You just refer that after this. Okay, unit of rho or ohm meters. Rho for metals and alloys. What is the value of rho? Electrical resistivity for different metals and alloys. The values presented here, they are between 10 to the power of minus 8 micrometers to 10 to the power of minus 6 micrometers. 10 to the power of minus 8 micrometers to 10 to the power of minus 6 micrometers. Means this is 100 into 10 to the power of minus 8. 10 to the power of minus 6 is 100 into 10 to the power of minus 8. 1 to 100 means that 1 into 10 to the power of 8 to 100 into 10 to the power of 8 micrometers. So this is the value, the range of the electrical resistivity of metals and alloys lies between 10 to the power of minus 8 micrometers to 10 to the power of minus 6 micrometers. This means what is that? If the thickness is very small, they are good conductors of electricity. Thickness For example, you see, uh, this kind of wires, we generally, the house wiring purpose, we use this kind of wires. We use this kind of wires only. It consists of so many single micron size, thickness size wires. They are combined together and they made it as a conducting wire. Because in order to serve the purpose of how much voltage a particular house is going to use, they prepare the wires. And the electrician who is wiring in your house, he prefers what type of material you are going to use and what are either fridge or cooler or air conditioner or mixie grinder, like that. So different for different appliances, the current requirement is different. That is why he prefer to use different kinds of wires. So for many purposes, this kind of multi thin wires, combination of copper wire or aluminum wire is being preferred. Okay, now the conductivity, they are good conductors of electricity. What are good conductors of electricity? Metals and alloys. Metals and alloys are of good conductors of electricity. What is rho? Electrical resistivity. That's what we are learning from this concept. Electrical resistivity. Electrical resistivity. Electrical resistivity of metals and alloys is between the range of this much, and hence they are good conductors of electricity. So rho insulators, if you consider here conductors we are considering, if we consider the case situation of insulator. Insulator means what? They protect us from giving shock. For example, on this wire, on this aluminum single lead wire, a black coating, a black cover has been given. This is insulator. Even if we touch this while in connection, it doesn't harm us or hurt us. That is why a insulating coating has been given over this conducting wire. So like that, for insulators, the resistivity, electrical resistivity is in the range of 10 to the power of 12 to 10 to the power of 17 ohm meters. 10 to the power of 12 to 10 to the power of 17 ohm meters. This much of value is being absorbed in materials like rubber and glass. Rubber and glass. That is why you see many switchboards, you see, they are made up of ebonite. And so that it will not let the current pass through it. Why? Because it is an insulator. For insulators, the electrical resistivity value, how much I said, it lies between 10 to the power of 12 to 10 to the power of 17. These two are positive values. You see, if we go to this metals and alloys, the electrical resistivity is of negative value, 10 to the power of -8 to 10 to the power of -6. Whereas for insulators, it is a positive value, 10 to the power of 12 to 10 to the power of 17 micrometers, ohm meters. 10 to the power of 12 to 10 to the power of 17 ohm meters. That is why these insulators are quite often used in electrical appliances, so that the conducting wires should not give us a shock. I think the point is very clear for you. Both the resistance and the resistivity of a material changes with temperature. For example, if we connect an ordinary wire to a transformer, what happens? There the temperature rises very much. That is why the wires melt quite often. Even in our houses regularly, the fuse the fuse goes off. No, because of the high temperature of intake of current. Because of intake of current, the temperature rise will be there, so that the wire, single wire, that will be melted. That is why the problem of a fuse off arises quite a number of times in our home, because the purpose of connection is for one, and we are utilizing that for other purpose, high voltage purpose, so that voltage requirement is increased, hence the temperature rise will be there, automatically fuse will goes off. Okay, so the selection of the wire, selection of the wire depends upon the purpose we are intended to use in our house or whatever the situation may be. Okay, I think the concept is clear for you now. Thank you.